elementary school, I was the child who got bullied because I didn't fit in. Because, holy crap, I didn't possess the latest shoes, clothes, or hairstyles, and when it came to classwork, I always got the short end of the stick. I felt as though I wouldn't amount to anything. In middle school, I realized that brains didn't matter, or so I thought. All that mattered was having the right look. And because I didn't have all the means in the world, I didn't look like the rest of my peers. As I got older and wiser, I realized that doing what everyone else is doing doesn't define who you are. Being yourself defines who you are. So the summer between my 8th and 9th grade year, I decided that my high school experience would be different. No more doing what everyone else is doing. It was time for me to spread my wings and soar high in the sky. But how? I remember my first encounter with one of my favorite teachers. It was my first day of high school, and I just wanted to go with the motions. Yet, for some reason, when I met Miss Warren, all that changed. I remember thinking to myself, oh my lantern, this little old lady is going to get on my everlasting nerves. But she didn't. When I felt like giving up, she pushed me to give my all. When I was in the 9th grade, I used to say to my peers, I don't know how I made it to high school. To them, it was a joke. And I guess by the intonation of my voice, it kind of was on the outside. But the truth of the matter is, I knew exactly how I made it to high school. Miss Warren showed me I made it that far because I was smart. I remember the day I showed her my first college entrance letter. I will never forget the look on her face. Her eyes were so big, and I knew she truly believed in me. She helped me prove to myself that I had a future. And because she believed in me, I started to believe in myself. Growing up, I needed a teacher to believe in me more than anything. Although my mom and dad are always there, I needed someone with a higher authority to believe that I can accomplish anything. Miss Warren did that for me. Yet, when I approached my 10th grade year, I recognized that believing in myself wasn't the only critical factor. I needed to take personal responsibility in my education. I quickly named that after my interactions with Miss Templeton. At the beginning of 10th grade, I thought no one really cared if I passed or not. I felt as though all the teachers were only concerned about the 9th, 11th, and 12th graders, and no one had time for me. I would constantly go to class late or fall asleep. On top of that, I gave my teachers the worst attitude imaginable. I thought that I could be this way with all my teachers, but not Miss Templeton. For the first 2 weeks, I thought I was in the clear with my little routine. Show up and participate when I felt like it. And when it came to her, I was always late, and when it came to her work, I felt as though I didn't need to do it because I passed the FCAT writing in the 8th grade. Then she called home. She told me she would, but I didn't believe her. I had a lot of teachers starting to call my parents, but none of them really practiced what they preached. I changed my ways faster than the speed of light. After that phone call, everything changed. You see, after that phone call, I knew she really cared about my education. I showed up on time, and my grade went from a D- to a high C, but I'm at a B-, working on an A. Miss Templeton set high expectations and high goals for me. She let me know how much she really cared about my education and future. This was critical for me. You see, in my family, we have a high rate of high school dropouts, and the ones who finish high school have never gone to college. In fact, it was kind of a tradition to not finish school. My oldest brother wanted to change all that. He was planning to attend South Carolina University in the winter of 2008, but tragically he was shot and killed that summer. I began to feel as though my family was cursed and perhaps school wasn't for me. I felt that no one in my family would be successful. Miss Warren and Miss Templeton changed that for me. They gave me the confidence I needed to have in order to be successful in school so that I can achieve my dreams. They believed in me, and I started to believe in myself. What most people don't seem to realize is that what teenagers really need are those people to believe in them. Don't get me wrong, my mom and dad believed in me wholeheartedly, but I needed someone who has experienced college to guide me throughout high school.
Mm-hmm. Good.
To tell me I was intelligent enough to further my education, but also teachers who set rules and expectations and follows them relentlessly. I found out from Miss Warren I was smart in the 9th grade. When I got to the 10th grade, I needed Miss Templeton to constantly remind me to follow the rules and do my classwork to be successful. To be honest, some students might be afraid of those high expectations, but I know when I walk into Miss Templeton's classroom, she set those high expectations so my classmates and me can achieve to our highest potential. Anything less than our best is unacceptable. Consequently, those high expectations led me to take personal responsibilities in my homework, classwork, and grades, not only in her class, but in other classes as well. If I can leave you with one lasting message, this is it. Don't back down on your rules. Don't let your students walk all over you. We need the structure and guidance from our teachers to make sure we can accomplish our aspiration. In order to do so, we need teachers to believe in us like Ms. Warren did in me, and a teacher who set high expectations for us to meet like Ms. Templeton. Without a mix of those two, I wouldn't be standing here today. Set high expectations and lay down the law so students like me can learn. So students like myself can go to college and do whatever we want. But also motivate your students to be self-sufficient, to do their own work, because ultimately only I can get myself to college.